Hey guys, welcome to Chaos Unfiltered. I'm your host Abby, and today we're going to be talking about moving. Honestly, just moving pet peeves and just everything that went wrong because I have recently moved and I love moving, don't get me wrong, but everything went wrong this time. Just there was so much, there's still so much going on. It's been 3 days since I moved in, and it's been a wild ride from even before I got the keys. I don't know. So let's dive into my rant. Anyways, so basically, I called like a week before I was supposed to move in, and I was like, hey, I'm just confirming that I can move in on this date. Is that cool? Because I haven't gotten my lease yet. And they were like, oh, yeah, that's weird that you haven't gotten your lease. Let me send it over, but let me confirm a few things first. I'm on the phone, they're confirming. They're like, okay, you wanted this unit here. Did you know that was a handicap accessible unit? So it's for people with wheelchairs and everything's lowered. And I was like, no. And they were like, oh, so let's get you into a different unit. And I was like, yeah, great. There's no units in the area that I wanted, which sucked, but it's okay. They gave me some options, and I was like, honestly, I'd prefer over here. There's more parking, stuff like that. I like to look at the parking lot so I can see my car, which, spoiler alert, that did not end up happening. I do not see the parking lot, which I'm not super mad about, but we'll get into that later. They give me these options, and I was like, okay, this option's fine. And they give me a different option that's for hard of hearing and deaf people. So there's a doorbell on the outside, and there's lights in every room. So when you ring the doorbell, it starts blinking for the lights. So that way you know someone's at the door because obviously they can't hear the knocking sound. Super cool, right? But also, I don't need that. And they ended up giving me that unit, even though that was not agreed upon. I told them I didn't want like any disability unit, anything like that, because I don't need it. Like, what if someone else needs it? Like, I don't want to take that from them. And also, the blinking lights would piss me the fuck off. I'm sorry. I would get so annoyed. Anyways, they sent over my new lease, and that is when I emailed back and I was like, hey, just wanted to confirm that I'm not getting, like, the hard of hearing deaf unit, stuff like that. And they're like, oh no, like, that is the one you're getting. And I was like, I don't want that one. So I end up having to get on the phone with them again. And I was like, look, I'm looking at this site map. Like, these are the ones I'll take. If I have to, I'll take this one, but I really don't want it. And they're like, okay, let me confirm with our manager, see if we can get those units done in time. All of that stuff. They end up contacting me back. One of the units they can't get done in time. It's going to be a time crunch. I'm supposed to move in like less than a week at this point, maybe a week. So, like, yeah, it's going to be a time crunch. I'm sorry. You should have double checked when I got the apartment that you weren't giving me a disability unit. I don't fucking know, or label it better. Whatever. So I'm going in, about to sign my lease after all of that. Finally got an apartment. We're making progress. And then I'm scrolling down and there's like the pet stuff. And it says I have 2 pets. One, definitely my pet. The other one, never named a cat that. Never had a cat named that. Sounds like someone really likes the Indiana Pacers. And I was like, hey, I only have 1 pet, which is not true, by the way, but I only have cats, and I'm not about to tell them how many cats I have. They're not going to be in my apartment that much, so, like, whatever. I'm paying the minimum pet fee because, honestly, again, another pet peeve, pet fees are fucking ridiculous. Why do they exist? And why do I have to pay $400 for a pet deposit, but then when I move out, I get fined because of pet damage? What the fuck was my $400 for if it didn't cover the goddamn damages that my cat did? Honestly, my cats aren't that bad. They have torn up carpet before, but that was because I accidentally locked them in the room for like a really long time, so I can't really blame them. And the one time they've like had accidents is because I switched their litter box to an automatic enclosed one, and so some cats don't like that. And we had to work through it, right? But regardless, pet fees, fucking dumb. I don't care. They should not exist. I don't get it, but it's whatever. I pay it. I'm fine. But that's another reason, like, I'm not paying for multiple pets for pet rent because $35 for pet rent is crazy. And if I'm paying that every month and I still have to pay more money when I move out because of pet damages, I don't understand where my money's going. Anyways, that was a little off tangent, but I was scrolling through signing the pet part and it said I had 2 pets. Again, I don't list any more than 1 pet. So I have to email them again and be like, hey, like, you listed 2 pets. I only put 1 on my pet profile because we had to make a pet profile and like upload pictures and all of this shit for this apartment complex. It was kind of fucking weird. I've never had to do something like that before, but I did it. We're good. So they fixed that. And then I can finally sign my lease, sign off on all my documents. We're good, right? I have the U-Haul ordered. We're ready because my dad's like, it's been raining a lot. I don't think I can get the trailer out. Also, it's probably just easier with all the shit I have. Like, I live in a 2-bedroom apartment since I've lived by myself, and I've accumulated a lot of shit. I'm not gonna lie. But, I mean, I've been out on my own for a little while now. Honestly, a long while now. So, of course, I've accumulated a lot of shit. Of course, I have all of this. And my parents are really fucking tired of moving me because I move at least once every 2 years, and probably in the past, let's say 5 or 6 years. No, in the last 10 years, probably, I have moved probably around 7 times. That was in and out of college, back to my parents. I moved home for 7 months because I thought I was going to move states. Ended up not moving states. Got my old apartment. Then it had been 2 years, and I was like, I need a new apartment because that's what happens. And I really like this apartment complex. My friend moved in here, and I was like, wow, this place is fucking nice. I wasn't going to move here because, I mean, I was supposed to move in with my ex, all of that, but they're an ex for a reason, right? Obviously, we're not going to live together. And we wouldn't have moved in here because they didn't want to live down on this side of town, so I was going to move up. But it didn't end up that way. So when I was ready to move, I was like, okay, like, one of my friends already lives here. Another one just moved in the month before. So it'd be really fun to be, like, all close. And especially because I needed that support when I decided to move here. I decided in, like, January, early February. And I was still really struggling with that breakup. So having the support really close to me was something that I thought would be really good for my mental health because my mental health was really low for a little bit there. And that moving, and I mean, this move was a little bittersweet because the last apartment was the first apartment I had ever moved into where I was completely alone, paid for all by myself. It was like the first really big girl apartment. Like I had roommates before, right? So it wasn't as deep. And moving out of it brought like a lot of, I want to say like sadness just because the move wasn't what I was expecting it to be about 4 or 5 months ago. Like I was expecting to move in with my boyfriend. I was expecting to do all these things with him, switch to a different center and work there and all of that. But that isn't what happened. And honestly, like, it's for the best. I'm so happy where I'm at, but it just wasn't what I was expecting at all. And that is what makes it so fucking hard. But anyways, I'm not really butthurt over it. It's not hard anymore, but like for that split second, for those like 30 minutes when I was thinking about it, I was like, wow, this is not what I was expecting. But it's also a good thing because I wouldn't have a podcast if life didn't go how it went. So, anyways, back to the moving pet peeves. I had the U-Haul. My dad's going to pick it up because I can't drive a 26-foot U-Haul. Absolutely not. I'm going to get in a wreck for sure. And especially where I had him pick it up. Sketchy U-Haul place. Very fucking sketchy. I am so sorry I made him go there. Anyways, he picked up the U-Haul. He needs to go get a dolly and stuff because I have a ton of books and I'm not the best packer, I'm going to be honest. I am what can fit in here is going to fit, and I don't really think about how heavy it might be. But that's why I also always live on the first floor now, because I don't want to walk up and down the stairs every day, first off, and especially when moving. That shit is so fucking hard. And I've moved a friend out of the third floor, and I moved her into the third floor. Absolutely never again. When that was done, we moved her in like mid-July, June, something like that, right? Moved her out. And the whole group chat agreed. We were like, no one ever move into the third floor again. Spoiler alert, one of my friends did move into the third floor. I was like, I thought we talked about this, but They managed. It's fine. I didn't help move them in. I did help unpack and all that, but I was busy at work. So, again, I got off topic. My dad picks up the U-Haul, and he's going to go get the dolly. And then he opens up the gate, if that's what you want to call it, I don't know, to the U-Haul, and there's a shit ton of glass. He sends me a picture, and I was like, what the fuck is that? He's like, it's glass. And I was like, from what? We haven't even started moving. Where the fuck did the glass come from? So when he gets to my apartment, we end up having to sweep all of that fucking glass out. Because I don't want it all over my shit. We don't want to get hurt by it. It's in the ramp. It's everywhere. They did not check this fucking U-Haul when it got returned to them. Go like an hour back, and I am at the new apartment complex trying to get my key so that way I could get all of that done before we were gonna have all my stuff to move me in. I get the key. I have to pay the prorated cost, all of that, whatever. I get the key. I go to the apartment just to check it out, right? Make sure it's good, which I'm so grateful I did this. I go into the apartment that I'm supposed to get. I put in the key. I try and unlock it, and it's not working. And I was like, okay, weird. I moved the door handle, and I was like, oh, it's already unlocked. Okay, cool. I walk in. Looks okay. I didn't look that hard, to be honest. And then I was like, I put some of my stuff down, and then I walked back to the door, and I tried to lock, and I was like, why isn't it locking? So I walked back to my car, looked at the envelope that told me the apartment number and everything, and I was like, oh, so this is the wrong apartment. So I run in, grab my shit, run back out, because I was like, oh, I was not supposed to be here. I have done something wrong. All of this stuff, you know, little freak out. No reason to freak out. It wasn't my fault. I go to the other apartment, and it works. I unlock the door perfectly fine, walk in, and there's like 2 giant 5-gallon buckets of mud. And I was like, that's all it took. And like the floor was nasty. And I just like walked out. And I was like, this is not the right apartment. And that was technically, the keys they gave me was the second apartment that they were supposed to give me. But it was for the deaf and hard of hearing individuals. So not the apartment I wanted. So I go back to the leasing office. And I'm like, hey, like, this isn't the right key. Like, this is for this apartment number. I'm supposed to be in this one. And they're like, oh, yeah, you're right. And I was like, thanks. So they get me the right key. And they're like, hey, we only have 1 copy of your apartment key and the mailbox key. I don't need 2 copies of a mailbox key anyways. Like, I'm one person. I'm good. They were like, if you come back next week, the guy will be here that can make your key for you. And I was like, okay, cool. Whatever. I can deal with 1. It's not that big of a deal for me. I get the right key, I go back to the apartment, make sure it's the right key, because at this point, I got trust issues. I don't fucking know. Like, after 2 wrong units, my friend made the joke that I was like, what, are they going to give you vision impaired next for the apartment? I was like, you know what? At this point, fucking maybe, bro. I don't know what's going on. I have had such bad luck with this move, and I don't know why. Like, I don't know if those were some signs I should have been looking at, but nothing was going good. Now, move forward the hour, we've cleared out the glass, all of that. We start packing me up. It's not that bad, besides my brother and my father butting heads because they spend way too much time together, and they're yelling at each other, and I was like, oh my God, like, maybe it would have been easier to just hire movers, even though, like, that's more money, but, like, I wouldn't have to deal with this right now, and I also wouldn't have to do this, and someone else would be doing it for me, so maybe it's worth it, right? I don't know. We'll see in 2 years. Maybe it's worth it. We get everything loaded in. We're about to close up and go to the new apartment. And honestly, this is the best thing that had happened. I accidentally ordered my new desk and bar stools to my old apartment, and they weren't supposed to get delivered until Tuesday. And I was like, shit, I'm going to have to go back, get them, which isn't a big deal. Like, I still have the keys to my apartment. That's fine. It's just I know those bitches were going to be heavy. The UPS truck showed up right when we were about to leave, and I was like, hey, what are those for? And he told me the apartment number, and I was like, just drop them off at the U-Haul. Like, they're mine. So, got the bar stools. Great, perfect. Again, about to leave, just making sure everything's good. We had to switch some things around so I could get the cats into my vehicle. The FedEx truck comes in, and I was like, is that my desk? I asked the dude where he's going. He told me the apartment. I was like, yep, that's for me. He drops it off at the door because he was moving a lot quicker, and I was a little skeptical that the desk was coming because the desk didn't tell me it was getting shipped today. The bar stools did tell me they were arriving on Friday instead of Tuesday like they were supposed to. So we ended up getting both of those items, so that was amazing. Also really helpful because that desk was fucking heavy. I don't know how that FedEx guy did that by himself. I remember me and my dad lifting it together and I was like, oh my fucking god, this is heavy. That dude is strong as fuck. And the guy actually heard me and he started laughing. And I was like, I know you do this for a living, but shit, bro. Like, this is 110 pounds and you just over your shoulder like it was nothing. We get to the new apartment, fine. Honestly, nothing too bad besides just trying to figure out how to park the U-Haul because it's so fucking big. But we figure it out. We get some things moved in. My dad's definitely getting a little hangry and just, he's probably sore, stuff like that. So he's like, come on, guys, get fucking moving. Like, let's go. Like, why aren't you grabbing these boxes, all of this shit? And then he's like, Abigail, why is everything in the fucking living room? Like, the couch still needs to come in. Get it to where it's supposed to fucking go. So I'm dealing with that. And then my brother gets heated and he's like, who put this in the fucking doorway, and kicked a box. And I'm not for certain, but I'm pretty sure one of the box he kicked had glass in it. And I'm pretty sure he broke a martini glass. So that was really fucking upsetting, but it's fine. I'm fine. I'm so grateful that they helped me move, so it's cool. And my mom broke a cup too. She wasn't really her fault. I mean, it was, but she had it on the dolly and it fell through the dolly and it fell. So, less her fault. I'm moving everything, all of that. My brother and dad grab the couch. They try and get it through the front door. It's not going through the front door, which I'm not surprised about because at my last apartment, we had to put it through the patio and it was still a fucking struggle. So I was like, shit, how are we going to get this couch in? My dad's like, what happens if you can't get in? I said, that's not a fucking option. Like, I just bought this couch less than a year ago. It's nice as fuck. It was expensive. I'm not getting rid of it and I'm not buying a new couch. So like, we're gonna have to go through the back way, through the other door because of the angles and stuff like that. Because there's like a hallway coming in from my door. They go on the back way. They get the first one in easy, which is usually the easier one. Then they bring in the one that's usually tricky. My dad's like, someone needs to get to the other side to like push in the back of the couch just because it's so fluffy. I start sprinting to the back patio because I don't want anyone to yell at me. And by the time I get there, and it's not that far of a run, okay? And I'm pretty fast, I feel like. They already have it in. I was so fucking pissed off. But I'm glad they got it in. Like, honestly, I was so stressed out for a second. And I was like, fuck. What am I going to do? With the move and everything else, and that they needed to finish this apartment quickly so I could get in on time, the carpet, fucking disgusting. This is probably my biggest pet peeve of this is that, like, there are just giant ass fucking stains on the carpet. So, like, literally while they're moving in, I call the leasing office and I'm like, I don't know if you guys know this, but the carpet is fucking nasty in here. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, I don't go full Karen, but, like, I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't happy about it. Which, who would be? Because one of the things I thought they always changed in apartments was the carpet. And maybe they don't if it's in good condition. This was not in fucking good condition at all. And they apologize, you know, being all sympathetic, all of that shit. I don't really know if I believe it because they're like, oh, we didn't know. But then I talked to the manager and she was like, oh yeah, like we tried to get it out, but you weren't supposed to be in that unit, all of that. And kind of put the blame on me. And I was like, no, hold on, wait a fucking minute. This is not my fucking fault. You should have had the carpets done. So they're sending out cleaners to see if they can get the stains out. I was told today if they cannot get the stains out, they will replace the carpet. Unfortunately, I've already moved in, so that would be really fucking annoying, and I might just tell them, like, hey, it's not worth it. Just don't make me pay for the carpet when I move out, right? Because it's not my fucking fault. I also had to call AT&T about 5 times to get my internet set up. Twice on the day I moved in, I was like, hey, I called like 3 days ago. They said this was going to be set up. It's an AT&T Connect community account, if you know what that is. And I already had an AT&T account, which makes it like 12 times worse because they have to cancel your old AT&T because I wasn't in a connected community. Make a whole new profile for you to get you to get this community thing. Like, I get that it's easier for the apartment complex. It's nice. It's like, ooh, they already have the router here and everything. So that's really nice. wasn't fucking nice for me. I was fucking annoyed. So I called the first guy. He said he got it fixed, all of this shit. Did not end up getting it fixed. Really fucking annoying. Called again. This dude actually did fix it, so bless him. Got it all figured out. I actually have Wi-Fi now, so that's amazing. And then my final rant about moving so far, because it's not done. There's probably more. I might need to have a moving pet peeves part 2 just over this. Is I went to the mailing room to get some packages I got delivered from Amazon before I had to go do my workout. Get in, get my stuff. Great, try and leave. There's a giant, okay, not giant, a normal sized goose at the door, snapping at the door and snapping at the door handle. I am terrified of geese. Have you seen the inside of their mouths? I have been chased by a goose before. So, I have all right to be scared of a goose. I didn't know what to do. I sent a Snapchat to both my friends that live in this apartment complex. I called my mom and she's like, what are you going to do? And I was like, I don't know. I'm just stressed out. I'm just kind of like locked in the mailroom. I'm honestly really thinking about going through the window at the front. I ended up texting one of my friends because she's usually up. Because it was a Sunday. So I was up at like 8 a.m. So I was like, shit, who's actually going to be up at 8 a.m. on a fucking Sunday? She actually was up. I called her and she's like, do you need me to come save you from the goose and distract them? I was like, maybe. And I was like, let me just press the door. And I know I should have done this a lot sooner, but the goose was scary, guys. I'm sorry. Press the door. They ran off. We were good. So I was worried about it for no reason. But it's fine. Everything worked out. We're good. And honestly, I hope there are no other problems with this move. It's not terrible. I mean, the place was a little dirtier than I was expecting, especially for it being a new apartment complex, especially just the carpets. And just the hassle to find me the correct apartment is crazy. I hate AT&T customer service. I'm going to be completely honest. I was on the phone with AT&T longer than I was to get my lights turned on in this place, which is crazy in my opinion, but it's fine. But let me know, do you have any pet peeves about moving? Is there anything that really pisses you off about moving? Because honestly, I could probably tell you so many more things that piss me off about moving. Or maybe you enjoy moving. Maybe moving is the best thing for you. I do love moving, guys. Don't get me wrong. Like, I love being in a new apartment, getting to decorate it different, getting to do just things differently, right? And I love that. Like, that is the thing I love about moving. And I just felt like in my old apartment, there was a lot of memories that I just felt like I was holding on to because they happened in that apartment that I just wanted to get rid of. And this apartment now can bring new memories, hopefully good ones, probably some bad ones, let's be honest, it's life. But I'm really excited for this new apartment, for this new journey. I just feel like it's a fresh start into, you know, me growing as an individual, me as a human. And I'm really excited to see what happens. So let me know in the comments if you guys have any pet peeves about moving, anything that really stresses you out about moving, stuff like that. And I hope you guys tune into the next podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.